My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. It is Sunday, April 3rd, 2022. Currently 7:51 a.m. 6MOH 17408F 317, that's Nevada. 5CIH 924, RHC 2371, that's Texas. 8CFF 800, JDD 392, Oklahoma. 7RMK 017, 8DOE 514. BYG 3713, Washington. 8A31773. 8XGJ136, 8PCF 616, 244 NGW, Oregon, 6BWE319, 35022M1, 5PER240, RGX8198, Texas, 8THD430, 58715F3, 90082D3, 6FTP456, 7TOY075, 5HUK292, 3 PHH867, 8ZTG731, 4WTH933, 8T87322, 8ROL847, 7SOV024, 5FZT907, 4ZTB021, 7FBL902, NERISQD, 67588B2, 95520C2, 8LDH310, 8UVY319, 7NYM818, 8EGX469, and these are all at third-party facilitating Golden Bear Inn at the intersection of Holt Boulevard and San Antonio, where the entity is engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring, as I'm subject to it, sitting at the bus stop right now. And the entity is, again, in relevant position to what is Starbucks, who's also monitoring at 706 West Holt. Tom's Burgers, right here at 710 West Holt Boulevard. The Village, the Ontario Village, the shopping center, which is anchored by Stater Brothers at 646 West Holt Boulevard. Just want to document these are the third parties that are monitoring, and the same entity that is stalking, 6PFH383 by helicopter. That entity is stalking on a constant basis, and so are the people. And they are the same exact entity that are engaging in that terrorism as I captured yet again in a series of videos, while this entity that is hostile to what I'm exposing about it and what I'm publishing on the internet about it and what I shall enforce with regard to additional federal law engages in that conduct. And so this is 661 Holt Boulevard. That's Golden Bear Inn. That's that address. And I've also documented the fake sun right over my head at that address. That's what I documented, I believe, if not last Sunday, the Sunday before last, the entity keeping the fake sun over me as I remained in Ontario. And I was reminding you, oh, remember when I'm in Fontana and look what it's doing today because I stayed in Ontario? License 95064L1, and that's exactly what you witnessed as the entity kept a fake sun in Fontana yesterday from 9:07 a.m. You could just, that window of time, 9:07 to 5:56 p.m. It's not possibly the sun that's ever going to be on Holt Boulevard while the entity engaged in that conduct. But I've already got that documentation, that body of evidence, 2100182. And these are demons that are stalking with that entity, 8PVN156. And that entity being the terrorism, as I'm documenting the terrorism and the stalking by demons that are of that police department, the Ontario Police, and that are flying over me repeatedly. And yet again, a series of videos that I capture yet again. What you are understanding is what is being created, which is federal policy. That's federal prison for the people of the state, federal prison for the state itself that's engaging in what is terrorism in the state of California while placing you under surveillance and engaging in such conduct. Moreover, while the targeted individual, whoever it is that is documenting the government, is cataloging it, publishing it on the internet. This is what the entity engages in, 5ZMF208, and that's exactly what the entity has been engaged in for years. All right, and that is speaking to what is upon criminal acts of obstruction of justice, including kidnapping, while you are stalking and monitoring documentation, and then engaging in what are acts of aggression, threatening the life of that one who is documenting you. Yes, you're going to federal prison. So do the people of the state. It's grounded federal prison, 7UJA731. It's currently 7:55 a.m. 7BXS531, 7XRY268, 8XRL452. It is currently, by the way, 7:56 a.m. License 5EKC152, 8XNB787, 5YSB846-29465G2, 7AIY228, 43924D3, 4A86, I can't really see that one. That's it. 8NDX542, I believe. 5N01010. 6PAK280. 7EX. I'll get that in a second. This is Amazon Prime. License 3189642. License 8TBF595. And Amazon Prime in a truck. This is a logo with the Amazon Prime logo on the passenger side of the door. So it's a big truck, but it's not carrying a trailer. All right, so that is a third party. That's a demon that's stalking and intentionally using that exact logo as well. Everything that demons are doing is with regard to what is a symbolic threat. Demons engage in symbolic threatening conduct. The particular demon that's acting, and also with regard to understanding demonic activity, it's not just what they're doing, because it is what they're doing. It's at the moment that they do it. This is what demons do, and they're doing it in a specific environment. They're doing it at where they're doing it for a purpose, meaning around you in relevant position, meaning under directed light, indirected light, coexisting with directed light, under a light source that's not the actual sun. This is everything that is relevant to what is demonic. License 61536X1. 8RCV286. TJN627. 381L. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that. It's currently 7:58 a.m. Five FVD047. 8HAJ268. Ontario Police crossing path. And this is the same entity that's stalking on train tracks and swirling around direct light. That's a demon. That's Satan that I captured in video doing that. It's also a demon. As you see my shadow all around me, it's indicative of the condition. And this is what they're doing during daylight. And that's exactly why they're going to federal prison. This is vehicle 1828. License plate 1446383. That's a Latino male. No facial hair, crossing path. Monitoring with the people Okay, and it's 7:59 a.m. at San Antonio and Hope Boulevard. All right, facilitating, license 80017E3. That's CCRV Trucking Incorporated. Monitoring with the Ontario Police Department, sitting on the side of the road with their hazards on in relevant position, and now crossing path. And let me be clear, Starbucks, all these venues that I have identified already in relevant position, they're all monitoring as well. $8KL, I can't really see that one. 6UMG873. 8. You can scratch that one. I can't see that one. Four LLV 355. Six YEX 094 28626 N1 8TGV 710. Zero 6470L2 BM 96Y79 paper. Seven B 56541. 6YAB 390. It's 8:02 a.m. 3GTN 608, 5RZP 283, 7LNZ 948. Omnitrans Route 61 is arriving right now. It's 8:03 a.m. Omnitrans is license plate. Well, it's bus 2346. License 1545862.
Route 61, Airport Terminal, Fontana.
Oops, sorry.
Federal law requires...
All right, this bus is being driven by an Asian male. The employee number displayed on the screen is 3603. Ontario Police crossing path again at approximately 8:05 a.m. where this operator is driving west on Hope Boulevard and nearest the venue right before Euclid Avenue, so in between Palm and what would be Laurel. The Ontario Police are crossing path and doing so again following stalking while I'm on the bus. This is what they're doing as I'm documenting the act of criminal summoning last night at the third-party facilitating venue across from the Wendy's. So this is nearest like the Shell gas station. You just have a bunch of demons in their police vehicles, all with their lights on. They're stalking the path with light. They're demons that engage in that conduct. Those are demons that are on the police force. And so I just want to document this. This is employee 3603 that's driving this bus. It's 8:13 a.m. We're currently at what is Vineyard and Hope Boulevard. He's preparing to turn onto what is Airport Drive. And this is P.O.C. The people of the state are group stalking. These are demons that are getting on the bus. And as I've already documented, as I continue to document, the ongoing demonic environment is on the bus. Okay, so it is 8:13 a.m. P.O.C. License 1500332. This is Fontana Police engaged in criminal summoning at the 9720 Jennifer Avenue in relevant position while the bus that I'm on, Omnitrans, is crossing path with that police officer who's engaging in facilitation. That's the criminal summoning while you're monitoring with the people. And again, the 9720, the heavily documented venue where the entity is keeping a fake sun in the morning and in the evening. This is a method of stalking with light in the path by the Fontana Police Department. And it's currently 8:44 a.m. I did capture still images of that as well. It's P.O.C. 8 AGV 952, and Spectrum is monitoring as well in concert with the Fontana Police, who are creating facilitating light activity around the perimeter. Spectrum is at what are the apartments that are across from Dino Papavero. They're Jennifer Village or something similar to that, and the plaza that is the El Super shopping plaza. They're in relevant position. They're monitoring. Fontana Police are creating what is light activity. 8 TUV 889 crossing path, 6VNP 540 crossing path, 8H63708 crossing path. It's currently 8:46 a.m. 7YMM 207. CC31G99 paper. 6NRU 042. 8CPY 798. This is Sierra Avenue and Marigold. It's 8:47 a.m. And again, this Fontana Police Department, this officer that I just documented by license plate, this is a demon. And the demonic aspect of what he is doing, first of all, this is demonic with regard to the light. The bus is driving east on San Bernardino Avenue. And as I am looking out of the window that is on the driver's side, I'm sitting on the driver's side of the bus, which you can also see through my images, where I'm sitting on the bus. You have what is the demon of this police department that's group stalking. Okay, this is the demon-possessed population acting via the Fontana Police. The police officer is on Juniper, so the bus has not even reached that street yet. The bus is driving east on San Bernardino Avenue. The bus then drives what is south onto Juniper. Before the bus turns south, the window that I'm looking at on the driver's side of the bus, that while the bus is going in the direction east on San Bernardino Avenue, there is red and blue lights that's appearing on the window. This is called impossible light activity. This is a demon, all right, that is stalking with light. And then what you see on the street is this officer who's in relevant position. This is a demon that's engaging in manifesting light, okay? And that's the demonic aspect of what they're doing. They're also in relevant position in what's an ongoing demonic environment. But I just want to speak to that. The bus then turns onto what is Juniper. That's how I'm able to capture the picture in the rear, through the windshield as I'm seated on the driver's side of the bus. But there is no vantage point where the lights, where that vehicle's on Juniper, where the bus is still driving on San Bernardino Avenue, and I'm on the driver's side of the bus. Through the window, penetrating through the windows on the bus, where the police officer's on Juniper, there would be no possible way that light is manifesting through. But this is what the entity does. All right, and this is how I already knew that this officer was there, red and blue lights. They're demons that are manifesting lights, entirely demonic. Okay, this is also demonstrated, and this is also what you're aware of when you have multiple shadows on the ground around you, impossible light. Okay, this is called stalking in the path, engaging in that conduct. And what the demon possessed are doing today, that's called are doing with regard to what is engaging in what appears to be a traffic stop. You're stopped in front of a third-party facilitating venue. You're monitoring with all of them who are in relevant position. They're monitoring together, and they're demons engaging in that together. 3063, the employee driving the bus. The demons that are sitting on the bus stalking with audible activity by requesting stops as they do, based on what I do as I do it, while directed light in the form of what are police lights that are manifesting onto this window that I'm looking out of, all right, on the driver's side of the bus, while the bus is driving east on San Bernardino Avenue, and we have not even reached the street where I'm showing you pictures of where that officer was at. That's a demon that is stalking in the path. So I just want to give you additional context as to what is entirely satanic while they are engaged in criminal activity. It's interstate stalking, and that's why that demonic context is, that demonic ongoing environment is underway as well. It's currently 8:50 a.m. 8 EMR 939 at Merrill Avenue and Sierra Avenue at 8:51 a.m. 8K23253 at the same intersection. It's 8:52 a.m. The gates for Metrolink. We are at what is the train stops on Sierra Avenue, right beside the Gardens at Sierra, the Fontana Metrolink train station, and the Plaza at Sierra. These are facilitating venues. Metrolink dropping the bars for the train, which creates light activity and audible activity. It's facilitation by this company that's using a train to engage in interstate commerce, cooperating with the government that's engaged in surveillance. It's 8:53 a.m. And that is Metrolink. We're right here in front of the train, and this is audible activity that you cannot hear inside of the Fontana Lewis Library. As I said, your ears would be bleeding if it was actually that loud. It's impossible audible activity. Metrolink is a company engaged in terrorism. It's a demon operating that train, and that's exactly how you know that. It's demonic conduct. It is pursuant to what is the pattern of conduct for maintaining the elements of monitoring, and you cannot, under any circumstances, I'm right here on the bus while the train is driving by me, and you're talking about what the entity does while I'm inside of the Fontana Lewis Library. You've heard it while I'm walking around in the parking lot of the Fontana Civic Center. The entity is amplifying audible activity, that which is impossible to hear at that distance. Alrighty, and that's what you're hearing while I'm sitting right here in front of the train. This is P.O.C, and it's demonic while the entity engages in that conduct. It's entirely criminal as well. License 7YSR 810, 6JAF 041, 6TJG 971. And that's a Metrolink that is going again westbound on those train tracks. License 98020H3, 8PBK 708, 8PKH 643. SANDY21, 8FJJ 115. And Metrolink is currently loitering in relevant position at the Fontana Metrolink train station, and it is 8:56 a.m. And that demonic that demonic contribution to the environment, which is audible activity. Metrolink is the guise under what is demonic conduct, sounding like a train inside of the library, for example. 5ZWW491 is occurring in what is directed light, which is also demonic. It's occurring under what is a light source that remains for in excess of 9 hours over the venue of the Lewis Library. That's also demonic. 6GLS060.
Fontana Metrolink Transit Center.
It is in direct compliance with what is that environment that the entity is stalking with. And that's the ability to prosecute a company for engaging in that, facilitating it. License 1479379, and it's currently 8:55 a.m. By the way, correct? I said 8:56. It's 8:55, and Metrolink pulled off already.
And Metrolink, please do not jaywalk. Use the crosswalk or you may receive a ticket.
Now it's 8:56 a.m. Arriving at the Fontana Metrolink train station. Alrighty, this was bus 2348 that I was on, driven again by the Asian male whose employee number I recited. This is license number 1545862, and getting off at the Fontana Metrolink train station. And this is P.O.C. It's 8:57 a.m. That entire route is documented also by surveillance cameras, as they always are. Both the criminal conduct that's you can see in traffic as I'm documenting license plates, what the entity is doing with regard to what is crossing path and engaging in light activity conduct, and what is also occurring with the minions who are getting on and off of the bus. It's ongoing criminal activity. It's concerted, and it's also understanding and witnessing demonic activity. It's 8:57 a.m. License 8HMU700, 8TLS, 642. License, this is bus number 1259, license 1387338. Route 10. (92480M2), 8MEG604, 8RYR356, 88414M2, 7LVG856, 7RZF 879, 7AVF 108. Seven BCU 148, 8NEK 991, 8BDW. I can't really see that one. Seven PBL 798. This is 8BDW 633. Yeah. FLOMAC1 7DNN 059, 7T83621. It's 8:59 a.m. I think I read that one. 3264OW1, 8WTS 303, 5UNY 936, 5WPH 968, 8YPU. I can't really see that one. 8JLC 202, 4AXW 470, BF 45X81 paper, 6LBK 703, 8SRG 197, 5CSW 990, 4CMX 286, 8TXX 646, 8TSF 769, 6EVP 997, 7JYU 152. That's a demon honking their horn. It's a method of maintaining noise. These are demons that are focused on me and what I'm doing and where I'm looking. All right, and these are the same. This is the same exact entity. There is no separation from what I captured in a series of videos. These demons stalking in helicopters and police vehicles. Okay, this is the same exact demonic system that's underway. 8SYS 734, and that's what I'm reminding you about. These minions, while they're stalking by helicopter and stalking on the backs of railroad tracks and engaging what is stalking with light, that's what you saw Satan doing in an Ontario police vehicle last night. It's the same demons that are driving up and down the street on a train, stalking. All right, maintaining presence. It's ongoing state surveillance, and they're doing it in concert with that same exact government that is knows exactly where it is that I'm sleeping at night and is engaging in sexual violence while I'm showing you up close images. 8JEE 385, 7YSH 654, 7WDB 439, 8NNP 359, 7MAX 272. I'm showing you close-up images of what are 6G73, 674, LATNDAD, of what are sex offenders that are engaging in sexual violence on behalf of that government. 009463, they're present on behalf of that state that's stalking by helicopter. 7NVM731, that is engaging in surveillance in a bathroom, which is a violent sex offender, which is what the government is, and that's exactly what the people of the state are, and they're demons engaging in that obsessive stalking together. And that's why I capture what is that impossible light around me while the entity is stalking by police officers. 8VUD254. It is not different with regard to going from one city to another, going from what it's from night until day, going from what is 7JKM009, going from what is one county to another. The entity is engaging in what is a systematic and ceaseless, obsessive and highly demented monitoring system, and that's what I've documented. And in the same way as you're looking at those up-close images of those group stalkers who are in directed light in a bathroom, engaging in surveillance, and you're talking about one demon after another. As I capture an image of a demon and they're on surveillance cameras, another one enters in, they're stalking. All right, and they're stalking with regard to what they know that I'm documenting. I'm touching my phone, another demon's running up in there. I'm showing you an image of a sex offender going into the male's restroom. A female will enter in the women's restroom, monitoring with that sex offender that's in the male's restroom. It's not distracting from what is the documentation of a sex offender going into engaging group stalking in the bathroom. All right, and that's what they're doing with ongoing knowledge of everything that I'm documenting. It is on behalf of that government that's stalking in helicopters. EBNG 301, but I can't see the rest of that one. And so you have what is the entity engaging in this conduct, and the pattern of conduct is ceaselessly underway in this regard. And so I want to be clear, which I have been clear, 6YF8091, I've been very clear. But the people of the state are acting via company brands. And it is the same exact entity, the people of the state that are using company brands are going to federal prison. This is criminal activity that they're engaging in. It's not distinct because you are engaging in some outward appearance of something that's related to a trade that is in any way separate from a criminal system that they are maliciously engaging in. And these are companies that are subject to what is federal prison. All right, this is not merely a civil matter, and it's very, very revealing with regard to what is that malicious system and the entity engaging in this conduct through what are those companies. They're engaging in very serious criminal activity, threatening the life of American citizens, sexually violating them, terrorizing them. All right, 8 WSF 567, and your conduct is directly tethered to, it is facilitating what are the thousands of documentation and video and images of an entity stalking in helicopters and by police officers who engage in all manner of violation of your constitutional and your human rights while they are seeking to obstruct justice. I'm revealing those that are engaging in, while I'm speaking to the people of the state, as I've shown you how this system operates, the people of the state are not just 8 WSF 567, 8 THM 953, and 2 SOZ 158. Those demons, they represent the people of the state. They're in their own little raggedy cars. I'm talking about the minions that are in vehicles with logos on them, the minions that are flying over with logos on them, that are engaging in what is trade. They're engaging in the provision of services. They're providing the sale of goods while they are engaging in what is criminal, the threatening of a life while you're doing so. All right, and doing it right in your face. They're going to federal prison. In the same way that the people of the state are threatening, you are also engaging in that same exact threatening while that conduct on behalf of that government is underway. You're facilitating that, and you are directly part of it. You engage in crossing paths while the entity is doing that. You're talking about what is going to federal prison. So I'm just speaking to what is you're understanding what I've already documented, and that they are fully engaged in that altogether in the same way that they engage in that conduct. And it's so easy to document. That's how easy you're catching that federal charge, and you're going to federal prison as well. All right, and you're also understanding what is relating those companies directly to it. It needs to be known what these companies are actually about, what they are engaged in, what they're facilitating, and how they actually feel about what are your supposed constitutional rights, because what they do is the truth about their position toward it, what they're doing, not what they're putting on your before your face and on your before your ears on whatever you're listening to, where they want to sell you something. Okay, whether it's a good, whether it's a service, or whether it's a lie about what they're actually focused on and what they're about, because it is a lie. All right, the darkest, the lowest is the true representation, and they are engaged in the lowest of the low. And I can go down a litany of logos and company names, and it is, first of all, demonic, and second of all, it is revealing what is entirely criminal of an unprecedented level, 7LFM 975. And I have documented very heavily those who are engaging in what you could refer to as commercial stalking on behalf of this government. That's, you're engaged in terrorism while you're engaged in commercial stalking, and you're going to go to federal prison for that. I want to be clear, the target individual documenting it, it doesn't matter. You can't hide behind any logo, and the government sure enough cannot hide behind you. And as the government engages in threatening an American citizen and you're sitting there monitoring, you will go to federal prison for that. It's concerted activity. All right, it's facilitating that government that is engaging in that satanic and demented and criminal activity. Your presence there is facilitation of that. And you'll go to federal prison for that, for such facilitation. All right, which you openly engage in. You openly engage in that. You very easily catch that federal prison term. So anyway, it's currently 9:08 a.m. and that is what you are understanding with regard to my documentation, again, of the wealth of documentation that I captured last night, a series of videos of the entity engaging in what is, understand this is demonic at its core. First of all, it's demonic while you're looking at the helicopter that's flying back and forth and back and forth. This is a demon that's pacing, that's flying in circles over me. This is literally Satan. And this is the show of hostility while the elements of monitoring are underway. Yes, they are monitoring. You're looking at directed light that's appearing on the museum wall. That's inexplicable light. That's not coming from property lights. That's not going to appear upright on the wall. It's framing the museum wall. It's got the enlarged size of the columns of the hallway where I'm at. It's focused on the side of the museum where I'm at. It's the same museum where I just showed you in the video prior. My shadow is surrounding me as I'm showing you the demons of the Ontario Police. All right, this is the same exact environment, and it's demonic in all of these ways, which is what you're understanding. And they're also engaging in the ongoing pattern of conduct of federal group stalking and monitoring. The people of the state are monitoring while this demon, representing the state, acting directly in view of everything that I documented yet again on another day. Satan is furious about that, okay? So I'm giving you what is context of understanding what is demonic, and also what is speaking to while that demonic activity is underway. You understand that. That translates into a very real prosecution. That's analyzed under federal law. And that is the government engaging in what is evidence for what is federal prison for government actors engaging in that conduct. Not hiding behind any sense of anonymity in the same way the people of the state using the logos, using their companies and crossing paths, group stalking by companies, group stalking by Walmart, group stalking by Airmark Corporation, group stalking by Amazon Prime, okay, group stalking by Ryder, group stalking by, those are companies that are identified, and you are not hiding behind any sense of a logo, whether you get their particular license plate or not. You got that logo and you are in a specific environment and you are engaged in that P.O.C. and that is established. That's not a question. So you're talking about how are you going to punish? How do you address that? How do you reach into those companies? And you're talking about what is just with regard to their loss of their freedom, and that's necessary because the government is relying on this. This is how it's embedded into society. This is how you're engaging in posing an impermissible threat in an American citizen's face. You're doing that. That company is doing that, okay? So this is relevant to what are the psychopaths, and this is what the demon-possessed are, and that's exactly what's illustrated while a helicopter is repeatedly shown in video after video, which is not the first time that I've captured that. Okay, this is the psychopath that are the people of the state, the same demon possession operating over 6B KG130 who is stalking. Okay, and that third party, that license plate is the same entity that's stalking in a bathroom. Okay, while they are mutually all at the same time aware of and focused on engaging in surveillance of what I am doing inside of a private space. This is a sex offender as well of an unprecedented level. Invasion of privacy by the government, who is engaging in surveillance in a bathroom, and then very mad about what I have documented. And so you're engaging in what is some satanic outrage while you're repeatedly flying over me over and over again, which I capture in video over and over again because you're going to federal prison for it. You're going to federal prison for it, and the people of the state are going to be prosecuted for it. That's the very evidence to be used against the people of the state. They're engaged in that criminal activity. They're monitoring while that ongoing facilitating activity is underway. They're posing a threat in the same way. They're of that same condition, demons, a demon-possessed population, not separate from what's going on inside of the Fontana Lewis Library, not separate from what's going on as I'm walking down the street on Sierra Avenue in Fontana, not separate from what's going on while I am on the bus of Omnitrans. It is the same exact entity, all right? And so this is what you need to get in your mind while I'm showing you close-up images of the people of the state, whatever they look like, whatever their race is, whatever their age is. You need to picture in your mind the entity stalking and hovering, engaging in ominous terrorism by helicopter and police officers, demons, okay, psychopaths, and all this kind of this satanic conduct with light as you witness it. That's what you need to see in your mind, because that's who they are. They're acting as one. 8GYJ 533. 308VE handicap, 7VOV 711, 8KRN 219, and that's exactly the threat that is posed by the people of the state. And you're talking about what is the way in which you're going to be prosecuted like that very threat that you are, because that's what they are, acting all together as the people. 6TVG 515, 8XJB 463, 8TBU 585, 8NRZ 504. 8PXN 994, VROGA 57, 5YAF 901. (4KDF 843, I believe. 8PDC 521, that one's correct. (7TKW 771). (6VZW 281). One 486662. That's parked on the grounds of the Fontana City Hall. It's a California exempt license plate. It's 9:15 a.m. And so again, what I captured on video, and that's what I'm referencing right now. What I captured on video last night. This is the CEASELESS P.O.C. So that same ongoing criminal act is underway. That was just another iteration of the P.O.C. in showing you what are the terrorists that are the people of the state and the government. License 7061032. The entity, as you have also, as I've pointed out before, and if you pay attention yourself, when I engage in documentation that is exceptionally damning, which all of it is actually, because the pattern of conduct is established, you're ceaselessly engaged in that ongoing criminal activity, and it shall be that you're engaging in what is an impermissible threat. And not only did I establish the prima facie for what is understanding federal group stalking monitoring a long time ago, it is that which is irreducible, and there's no way to in any way approach what is documentation that is so consistent, and it's consistent with regard to what is capturing the impossible. All right, so this is certified revelation of what is demonic activity serving a criminal purpose. And you're talking about what is the people of the state, like 5VBZ 792, following into the parking lot where I'm walking through group stalking, listening to every word that I'm saying. You have what is the entity that engages in showing its fury, as I documented on video, series of videos last night, and doing so with regard to what is an ongoing provision. It's an ongoing provision of what is additional evidence for the grounds of punishment, how you punish. Now I've already laid out how you punish, so I'm showing you this is why. Okay, yes, it's the pattern of conduct. I've established that through the documentation, through the evidence, and I'm also telling you this is necessarily the way in which you punish this sort of system, and teaching you helping you to understand what is the nature of their condition. It's demonic. That is legally relevant. It is not the basis of any lawsuits, not an exercise of any religious right. It is legally relevant to what is surveillance by government. And you are witnessing, while I'm capturing again on another night, a series of videos of the government stalking me by helicopter and by police. The entity is engaging in what is, first of all, that ongoing framework for how you are necessarily punishing such an unstable population who is captured, surrounded with evidence, and doing nothing other than demonstrating hostility to it. That hostility is a threat. While you are engaging in the pattern of conduct, you're already engaging in a threat, and an impermissible one. The entity is engaging in what is conduct which you are understanding to be the ways in which you expect the government to behave, where the American citizen begins documenting that government that's placing you under surveillance. And that is absolutely unlawful. Legislation is necessary in order to protect that American citizen that shall not be subject to that ongoing threat, and even more of an ultimate threat, by the way, while you begin to confront that government that's placing you under surveillance. That's absolutely unlawful, intolerable, okay? 7GYX522. And this is what I'm documenting while the entity is stalking by these. I mean, they look like the freaks that they are with all this light activity. This is what Satan is. That's what Satan looks like, okay? You're talking about, and by what I'm referencing would look like, that conduct, this crazy light activity, this environment, and stalking in the path, not coincidentally driving on those train tracks while I'm walking to the back of that museum. That's a stalker. That's honing in on where I'm at. That's Satan. Okay, and it is active in the people who you see during the day, while I'm honing in on their demon possession, their demons, and you know them by the environment that they're in. They're intentionally in that environment, and they are stalking. Okay, and it's no longer concealed. They rely on what is their physical appearance, any position that they have, and by the way, it's absolutely irrelevant to what is understanding demonic activity. But like I said, when you are ignorant and you're not aware of, first of all, demonic activity, you're not aware of what are the telltale signs of how you're identifying that which is of the spirit, having nothing to do with what is of the physical, nothing to do with their race, their age, has nothing to do with any physical handicap or mental handicap. Okay, it has nothing to do with whether they're high or not on drugs. Okay, it has nothing to do with what is any position that they're holding. And you're thinking, and that includes any religion that they would claim. It has nothing to do with any of that. Meaning there is nothing that is barring what you are looking at, where you are identifying what is that pattern of conduct. The pattern of conduct is revealing to you not only a criminal conduct, but it's a specific population. It's a demon-possessed one. And that's exactly what is known through this environment that the entity is in and the conduct that they're engaging in and contributing to that, facilitating that environment. And this is what I've shown, for example, while you're looking at what is literally Satan, because that's what's wrong with that officer. That's a demon. Okay, this is a demon-possessed police officer who was stalking me while I'm walking at the museum at nightfall, going to document third parties and documenting what is criminal summoning by that same police department on Hope Boulevard. And you have what is stalking with light. That's what that demon is doing. And I've already described that to you. This is what the entity is doing on an ongoing basis. This is what the demon-possessed people, population that are the people of the state are doing when they are driving by and directed light is appearing on the asphalt, it's appearing all over the walls. It's molesting my person. That's what that is during the daytime. It's another iteration of the same exact demonic activity, which is serving a criminal system of monitoring in violation of Title 18, Sections 2261A, subsections 1 and 2. All right. The demon-possessed population are engaged in heavy-duty surveillance. And while you're looking at what is a very, very disturbing picture of demonic possession of a police officer who is stalking an American citizen and engaging in what is hovering stalking activity, that's what he's revealing, or he or she is revealing, while they are not coincidentally in the specific environment and engaging in what is contributing to that environment with that light that you see in this and crossing path with me in that specific environment at the moment that I'm walking to this location to document these third parties who are group stalking and remained in relevant position at that museum, by the way, and monitoring with the state. That's the pattern of conduct. There's no coincidence in the specific environment. It is capturing an ongoing pattern that is precise with regard to your understanding what is the condition of one who is in front of you, regardless of the lying audible activity, because that's what it is. A minion that is in that specific environment is placing you under surveillance, and you can completely disregard whatever it is that they're telling you about their condition. And to be honest with you, it's not even one that I would have a conversation with them about. You know them, and it's for you to know, and you don't even need to talk to Satan about it. Okay, because you're dealing with Satan is a liar. Satan will lie to your face, will shed tears. Okay, you're dealing with a psychopath. Okay, so like I said, it's for you to know with regard to understanding demonic activity. And a demon is true to form. They cannot hide it. They cannot conceal it. It's a matter of what is hoping. Okay, and Satan, you don't have any hope. You're talking about what's a matter of time. It's inevitable until Satan is revealed in the rawest form. In other words, it's right in front of your face, in front of the whole world to know. Everyone is capable of knowing what are the condition of those who are around you. Demon possession is not a secret, and it's also necessary to know with regard to just the presence of evil that surrounds you. And so the environment is what is telling you about that, is what is revealing that to you, and the conduct of those that are in that environment. Demons stalk with noise, meaning they are psychopaths who want to portray and exude normalcy, but they're not. The spirit that is on them, the demon possession, which is the condition that they are subject to, they are a slave. And that demon that's on them is focused on you, whether that human being is looking in your direction or not, whether they're talking to you or not. And they are engaging outwardly in the creation of what is noise or presence, any method of activity creation pursuant to their focus, which is you. That's what demons engage in. And they cannot deviate from it. They can't hide it. They can't stop it. It's demonic, and they're doing it in a specific environment. It is a very precise formula. It does not fail, and this is how you are capable of knowing exactly what is the condition of those around you. It's already suspect. If you're surrounded, if you're in that environment, which I'm letting you know, all I'm giving you is this is the formula. This is the P.O.C. This is what's around, and you already know actually this is the case because there's only one sun. There's only one. So you are talking about what is going on in the world. Okay, so I'm not going to, all I'm going to do is give you what is that which you do not have any reason to doubt. This is something that you can test yourself because you're looking at documentation of what it is that I've alleged and what it is that, first of all, I discerned. And then second of all, I went out and I documented it because other people can witness it the same. This isn't some unilateral declaration that I can't in any way prove or no, that's not what's going on at all. That's not possibly the sun, and that's a scientific fact. We're not talking about religiosity. That's a scientific fact that it's not the sun that's remaining over me for an excess of 10 hours at one address all day long. That's a scientific fact. And guess what? While that's the case, because of the supposed scientific facts that surround our universe, all right, the stars, including the star that is the sun, there's only one. And while that light source, as a matter of record for anyone to witness and see for your own eyes, is remaining over one address over me, that is telling you about what's going on around you. Because there's only one. There's only one sun. And while this fake sun is remaining over me, you need to be asking yourself, what is over you? Because it's nowhere near you and over you, or possibly the case. That's not possibly the case when it's remaining over an address, which is why I document. That's why I show you that. Okay? The entity is maintaining an ongoing environment. And let me be clear, Satan is at work. Satan is at work, and Satan's minions are at work. Satan's minions are going to be prosecuted where I'm at. What they're doing, I'm going to prosecute them. And I'm going to prosecute them very severely. And this is a matter of what is judgment. Yes, it is a spiritual matter. This is demonic. And this is a matter of judgment, revealing the truth, what's been done in darkness for a prolonged period. And when I say no minion is escaping, that's exactly what I mean. No minion is escaping. I'm doing my job. But what I am also going to do is I'm going to let you know about what's surrounding you, because there are implications. And that's based on what the entity is using to facilitate this system that's occurring through a people and through a government. And that's how you know you're in that environment and what you're surrounded by. And it is a precise formula. You're in that environment. You can further test it by those, because I'm in the environment and I am not some demon-possessed freak weirdo, stalker, sex offender. I'm not. I'm subject to this environment, which I knew off the jump is this is abnormal. This is not normal whatsoever. And it's so abnormal that you have to document it. All right. And serving what was just for my own purposes of enforcing my legal rights. But I'm seeing what is a greater purpose for what is telling everyone else. You need to know what's surrounding you, because it's not just affecting me, by the way. First of all, as far as the law is concerned, what the government is doing, it's not just affecting me while you're sitting up watching and listening. And I'm not talking to the minions that are sitting back and watching and waiting for their time to come, because it's coming. I'm talking about those who are genuinely ignorant, who are learning or and paying attention and observing what I'm documenting and what I'm exposing with regard to what is Satan and with regard to what is criminal in the United States. This is not just affecting me. If it's happening to me, honey, it's happening to you, and it's capable of happening to you. So like I said, it's not a movie that you're sitting back and just watching. You're watching what is fully underway with regard to any person, and that's where the government is engaging in this level of inhumanity. And this level of what is entirely, I mean, the heights of hypocrisy, you can't even, it's unfathomable. And that's in our country because we have a constitution and we have a supposed legal framework that we are governed by. We've got this political, all of these distractions with what's going on in Ukraine, and they're distractions. I'm going to let you know right now, they're distractions. The same entity is in the United States monitoring American citizens while you are talking about the human rights of those in another country. And you're not even aware of the ways in which your human rights are being violated today. And the more you become aware of it, the more of a threat you become, because you're not just dealing with the government, you're dealing with Satan. Okay? And so, like I said, those are all of the layers that are relevant, and it is directly applicable to you, because this documentation is revealing what you're surrounded by, because it's not possibly the light source. is over me, because that's not the sun. As I'm showing you, it's remaining over me. And by virtue of that, again, that directly applies to you. So like I've said, I'm gonna use Texas again as another example, because it's blazing hot in Texas, and that's not the sun that's over them. Especially, again, as I document on yet another day yesterday, 9:07 a.m. to 5:56 p.m. and I captured another video at the same venue of the Fontana Police, excuse me, the Fontana Fire Department, and the light source is right there on my right side. You're talking about over 8.5 hours later, the same parking lot. That is not the sun. And by virtue of that, that's the first conclusion. The second is that you are getting from evidence that you are seeing with your own eyes. Okay, these are not. I'm not making extraordinary reaches with any fallacy in my syllogism. You're looking at it, and this is necessarily a scientific impossibility that that's not the sun that will be present in that position, hovering over me at that as well. Okay, you're looking at all of that with regard to what is, first of all, again, that's not the sun, that's not possible. You're talking about duration of time. Second of all, you're talking about what is already documented when I'm not even in the city of Fontana. You're talking about maintenance of zenith, that ongoing presence, that ongoing pattern when I'm somewhere else. This is in conformity to that documented pattern. Third of all, you're also understanding, again, how it relates to you. Let's use Texas as an example. While the entity is keeping a fake sun for an excess of 8.5 hours over this parking lot, over this venue, being the Fontana Lewis Library, all right, there is no possible way that Texas had a sun over them. Okay, that would be impossible because it's literally captured remaining here over this building. That's not anywhere over Texas at the same time at any time between 9:07 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. But it's even after that because the entity follows with me, follows keeping that light source over me while I go to the Fontana Metrolink train station. But I'm using what I captured on video so that you understand it is impossible. All right. And so you have what is necessarily including everybody else in the rest of the world. This is demonic. Right? And it is revealing not only the condition, it's revealing the criminal system. And while you are in that environment, it's for you to understand. It's for you to know. It's not even nothing necessarily that you need to have a conversation. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but you're dealing with what is Satan. And Satan is necessarily exposed for such a time as this. Satan's minions are exposed for such a time as this, and they are the creatures, the cockroaches. They really are, and they're violent sex offenders. You're talking about what is dealing with Satan, that Satan is using people. Satan is invading your privacy. When you're in the bathroom, you should be creeped out. When you are aware of the demon possessed around you, they know what's going on. When you're pulling your you're pulling your boxers down in the bathroom, engaging in your business. If you don't mind men and women knowing what you're doing while you're inside of another room, I think that's weird and creepy. And that's also called sexual violence, all right? You would prosecute for not what is demon possession, but placing mechanisms in a bathroom in order to engage in sexually predatory and demented conduct inside of a private space. There's legislation that currently exists for that. Oh, but the demon possessed, they don't have to place a mechanism in the bathroom. You're dealing with Satan. Satan knows exactly what you're doing behind those walls and underneath that ceiling, underneath those roofs. This is what the demon possessed are doing. This is what they are doing. And they are engaged, they are under this condition while engaging in what is criminal surveillance. They're also monitoring with communication devices. And that condition is not a secret anymore. That, in other words, that you are a sex offender by virtue of your condition, because you are, whether it's because you have the spirit of Satan on you, or because you're placing mechanisms inside of a bathroom, or because you're engaged in criminal surveillance with the government. You're a sex offender under all circumstances. Okay, you're a sex offender that is unbeknownst to the one that you're violating, because they don't know that you have the spirit of Satan on you. And you know exactly what they're doing behind that door. That's entirely creepy. But it's not concealed anymore. All right, and so this is something that is relevant with regard to the government's system of surveillance and how it is doing it. It's doing it through literally the provisions of Satan itself. It's a satanic system. And that's Satan, again, as I capture on video, stalking me by helicopter. And you know why? Because I'm prosecuting Satan. All right. And that is translated into what is a prosecution. The people of the state, all the commercial brands that I'm documenting engaging in this criminal system, they are not separate, and they are still being documented while I'm showing video after video of the government stalking me, where it is that I sleep at night, by helicopter and by police. It is evidence against the people of the state. That's a criminal system that the people of the state are engaging in, that they're using these companies to engage in surveillance in concert with and on whose behalf. That's the threat that they're posing with this government while they're engaged in the elements of monitoring, for which you have no legal argument. And it's entirely malicious. And you are of that specific condition as well. This is to be revealed about these companies. This is to be revealed about the government and the ordinary person, whoever it is. You need to understand the environment that you're in, and that's exactly how you know them. It's exactly how you know them, because they're not just in the environment. Oh, they're engaged in specific conduct. Demons stalk with activity. Demons are stalking with light. Demons are stalking you under the fake sun, and the fake sun is over you in Texas. Hello. That's not the sun that's over you. And I'm just using Texas as an example, because this is what's going on throughout the country. And again, it's not just the United States. This is what's going on in the world. So it's currently 9:34 a.m. And so as I talk, you have what is an entity that's sitting around stalking, listening, engaging in obsessive stalking. The demon possessed are the living dead. There is no hope for them, contrary to what you're listening to minions tell you in a church. And let me be clear, Satan is calling that building a church. Satan is using what it refers to as scripture to misinform you, to deceive you, talking about whatever it is that they're creating audible activity. I was monitored inside of a building that they refer to as a church for years, subject to sexual violence inside of a building that was called a church for years. The government, the state of California, engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring while I was inside of what was a building that was called a church for years. All right. And that was referred to as what is Sunrise Church. They are the demon possessed. And not only was I subject to that criminal system, I then, once becoming aware of it, I literally witnessed those demons in real time inside of that building that was referred to as a church. All right. And this is before I separated myself from that organization, because that's all it is. And this is that pattern of conduct that is entirely criminal. And I'm coming back and I'm going to prosecute every single last one of them. All right. So it is currently 9:35 a.m. And this is P.O.C. I'm at the Fontana Lewis Library, where the entity is engaging in, again, this is the living dead. And so they're engaging in what is just an ongoing routine. They're slaves of Satan. Satan is a loser, in case you didn't know. And when you have that spirit on you, you are succumbed to that. You're a slave to it. And by a slave to it, you are in no means provided any legal argument. This is a malicious system. It's criminal. It's on behalf of the state. People are acting of their own volition. They are engaging in that which they also know is wrong. That's why it is a matter of public corruption, by the way. This is why the entity engages in the methods of harassment. This is why the entity engages in what are real-time reactions, in every way demonstrating knowledge, demonstrating hostility. This is in every way nothing that is providing any legal excuse. Satan is not twisting one's arm and some supernatural force is forcing them to violate the constitutional. No. Now that would be an argument that you cannot prove in a court of law. You can't prove that in a court of law. You are doing what you are doing. You're being documented. Okay. You are engaging in what is criminal conduct. Regardless of how you want to claim you're being compelled to do it, you are acting of your own volition, and you have of sound in mind while you're in that specific environment, and that's what demonstrates that as well. That ongoing pattern of what is this impossible environment that's following me around is not coincidentally present all the time. The people of the state are specifically in that environment, engaging in criminal conduct in concert with the state. All right. So it's currently 9:36 a.m. and this is P.O.C. Okay, first of all, that is amplification of audible activity, meaning this is that which is indicative of a volume that is being heightened. The sound is that which is lasting, as opposed to what is supposed to be the sound of that which is flying past. That's the sound of airplanes, by the way. Amplification of what is the sound of a plane. The entity is indeed stalking by airplane, as I already documented the other day while I'm walking on Lerner in the parking lot of this venue, the Fontana Lewis Library. The entity was flying directly over the parking lot side of the right above the parking garage as I walked on the sidewalk, and then Brink Security immediately drives past. Brink Security is stalking and monitoring with the government that was hovering over this library. The entity is stalking. It's demonic, while this plane activity is amplified in sound. All right, so I want to speak to that. And also, this is the ongoing pattern of conduct of the government that's engaging in surveillance and is group stalking by airplanes. And this is at the Fontana Lewis Library, where the entity engages in a pattern of keeping a fake sun for the duration of the day. This is in excess of 8 to 9 hours. And then following me from this venue to the Fontana Metrolink train station, which is where I customarily go to get on the get on the bus and go back to Ontario. That is audible activity. It is facilitation. It is the exact same pattern of conduct that the entity is doing, stalking by helicopters, stalking by commercial airline planes, stalking by aircraft in general. This is the pattern of conduct, and this is at Fontana Lewis Library. It's currently 10:48 a.m. That is, again, the hallmark. The entity is stalking by planes, but again, this is a method of audible activity. The entity is engaging in the ongoing maintenance of audible activity, and that includes what is the sound of the Metrolink train, okay, which again, you cannot actually hear the Metrolink train sitting outside of the library nor being inside of the library. It's that which is a demonic feature of the pattern of conduct. And it is, again, another method of what is activity creation in that specific environment that I'm being surrounded with. So that is terrorism, and this is the government that's by engaging in the creation of that activity. The government is stalking by airplanes. That's also the ability to identify that. Okay, it's 10:49 a.m. at the Fontana Lewis Library. Alrighty, you got a demon that's coming on the grounds of the library just to engage in surveillance. This is a psychopath creating audible activity with another minion who's engaging in surveillance with her, asking about whether it's the library when she's here to engage in surveillance and stalking. And this is a demon. Do you know what time it opens? Which is audible activity while she's here engaging in the pattern of conduct. Surveillance with communication devices is a violation of federal law that I'm going to enforce against the people of the state. License 5 BFU 880. A psychopath, a demon-possessed stalker who is listening to me tell her I'm going to prosecute you. And doing so with who is engaged in surveillance since I got here after 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 PLG 154, the same African-American male engaging in sexual violence stalking in the bathroom, is at the parking lot engaged in ongoing monitoring with the rest of them. 8JKY 447, 7WJS 829, 5PUD 976. And these are the minions that are just maintaining presence and sitting in front for hours waiting for the library to open. No, they're sitting in the library, maintaining presence, coming to the library. Nobody knows that it's the library. Nobody knows what time the library opens. They're stalking and maintaining presence here because this is where I'm at. In the same way that this is where the fake sun is. And this is where the state is stalking by aircrafts. It's currently 11:41 a.m. This is P.O.C. MLG 935. City of Fontana crossing path. Well, that's not City of Fontana. This is City of Fontana. This is a white male with a beard monitoring 1622255. Metrolink is the audible activity while that municipality is crossing path. And I want you to hear that volume, and I'll show you where I'm at because I'm right here at the library, and that's impossible audible activity while that demon operating the vehicle belonging to the municipality is underway. I want to be clear, this is the same volume it was at while I was on the bus this morning, right in front of the train tracks. This is called impossible. This is demonic, and that's the municipality, the license plate. That's the City of Fontana engaging in what is surveillance. That Caucasian male with the facial hair, he is crossing path, engaging in group stalking, and they're engaging in bathroom monitoring, as I just documented as well, NNEYERE. And it's 4:59 p.m., and I am standing right here at the brick wall. I'll take a picture just as to my physical presence right now and the audible activity that you're capable of listening to on this podcast. Alrighty, that is audible activity, what you're listening to. It is literally capturing the criminal activity of the City of Fontana, who's engaged in what is facilitation while they are engaged in surveillance in concert with the state as well. So understand the people are monitoring me, and the City of Fontana is monitoring me and facilitating that criminal system. And literally the audible activity of what is sounding of a train, this is demonic because you cannot actually hear the train, this is the natural acoustics of the environment. That's how you're witnessing demonic activity. All right, in the same way that I'm showing you video of what is not possibly the sun and you're actually looking at that object, that's how you're witnessing demonic activity. All right, and that is literally incriminating while I'm documenting the license plates of the municipality, the City of Fontana. Okay, and it's currently 5 p.m. That is P.O.C. Employee number 1513, driving what is Route 61, bus number 2349. At 5:24 p.m., American Medical Response engaging in what is criminal summoning, crossing path at what is Sierra Avenue. I just got on the bus at 5:23 p.m. and it's departing from the Fontana Metrolink train station. And this is amplification of sirens, and the sirens immediately cease after American Medical Response crosses path with me on the bus. This is the same exact pattern of conduct, and it's audible activity, it's massive facilitation, and this is Omnitrans engaged in that pattern of conduct. It's 5:25 p.m. currently at what is Merrill Avenue and Sierra Avenue, and this is P.O.C. License 8W XV864 7NLM 673. License 7B 93094. 7DNJ 263. 7HOE 807. All right, and at Merrill, that is the ARCO that is monitoring at that corner, the 76 right across the street. They're monitoring. This is the intersection where I'm at, and this is massive facilitation. So all these venues in relevant position are monitoring as well. So while the entity engages in the pattern of conduct, it's directly incriminating to all those who are in relevant position because the entity is monitoring together. And it is 5:26 p.m. (7E53699) 5AVE617 at Randall Avenue and Sierra Avenue right now. AZ13K46 paper. (8SLP136) C6W81994. OV1 6XYS 931. VLSC 010. 1G00598. 8ZFB 770, 8KAZ 806, 7CBN 304, 5EWD 766. It's 5:29 here. Amazon Prime at Dino Papavero 5BDD171, monitoring with Amazon Prime using their hazard lights on Juniper. It is in relevant position to the property that we are crossing on Marigold, which is Dino Papavero. Amazon Prime is creating light activity, monitoring 57085L2. License 8ZF 5FZ647, 7ZKJ074, 6GCJ93L, 4SUT096. And that's facilitation in the same way that American Medical Response is using lights and sirens on their vehicles. It is 5:30 p.m. 33339H3. 7Y40673. MUX146. We're at Cypress and San Bernardino Avenue. 59752H2. 8VMK910. I can't really say that. You can scratch that one. It's 5:34 p.m. We're on San Bernardino Avenue. 7ZQN904. 19947B3 at Poplar and San Bernardino Avenue. Third-party facilitating venue on track at San Bernardino Avenue and Calabash, monitoring while a third party is in front of their property in relevant position, monitoring, creating with their flashes on San Bernardino, engaging in facilitation. On track is the venue that they are in front of. And this minion, 8ULY379, is monitoring as well, maintaining presence on the side of the bus. This is the people of the state acting in concert with one another, stalking in the path with light. And again, that's on San Bernardino Avenue, that third-party facilitating venue on track, which is at the intersection of San Bernardino Avenue and Calabash. It is 5:41 p.m. It's currently 5:41 p.m. Crossing path is a Latina female driving a Dodge Ram truck, 89548V2. 6YAB804. 54228L2 at Etiwanda Avenue and San Bernardino Avenue. 8TKT380, that's the number 8, Tom, Karen, Tom 380. 8GYR815. 9AKT603, I believe. That is 9AKT603, that's correct. Southwest Airlines is hovering in alignment with San Bernardino Avenue, monitoring with the people. Alrighty, that's a demon, by the way, that's flying that commercial airline plane that is hovering along. I've captured this on video before, by the way, being on this very bus line, Route 61, and the entity hovering by airplane through the window of the bus. That's what Southwest Airlines is doing while I am documenting these license plates. Southwest Airlines is hovering. I'm in front of the address 5540 on San Bernardino Avenue. License plate 8XNB777. This is 5:44 p.m. 7TTS 773. And that is the address 5540 on San Bernardino Avenue is where we're at. The last property is West Valley, and then crossing what is Etiwanda. So I'm sorry, crossing Etiwanda first, and then approaching at Barrington. This was a red light, and proceeding West Valley is on the passenger side as we're proceeding west on San Bernardino Avenue. So I just want to speak to my location right now. 8NNL945. 4VYZ052. 6YUZ799. CC17W18 paper. 6VSF843. 5FZB859. 8ZGT720. 8WWU327. 8RFM645. License 8KJM124. JMX5731, that's Ohio. capturing video right now of the entity flying directly over the intersection of the freeway and the 4th Street where we're at the Albertos and the Chevron at the Ontario Mills. And this is where the entity is monitoring relevant positioning via traffic 5EIU 468. And this is a video that I just captured right now, 7SFC 264, 8VQW 151, YVAJ 138. Group stalking in the parking lot of Burger King. Demons manifesting light at Wiener Schnitzel, doing the same, lining the path. They're parking on the properties using their vehicles as light, monitoring with communication devices. These demons are just sitting in their vehicles, studying their communication devices, just like I show you when I get close-up images of them for you to see what are the demon-possessed and the criminal presence. That's what it is on behalf of the state that's engaged in surveillance. License 4K TX039. 5FZB 859 BM 169 handicap 8BFV 485 63801B3 8BVJ 392, and it's 5:50 p.m. 88EY 619 8KJM 124, read that one already. 8GEN 698 8KRV 166 8MHM 019. Yeah, I read those. It's 5:50 p.m. We're at Milliken Avenue and 4th Street. 8YNV 250. 8YNE 831. DTP 927 7R. I can't really see that one. 7KMD. Well, I can't see the last character. You can scratch that one. 8XAZ080. 8EXM. Oh, I can't really see that one. I think it is 8EXW048. 7XMF 677. Yeah, 8EXW048. 7LLM 374. Nine 8858R2 7AJR 952 8JNL 664 8HUR 883 8BFV 485 8LPT 886 7644 2F1 8YCN 604 7STJ 166 6FCF 932 8RF, I can't remember, 6R, you just got that one, 07753H3, yeah. It's 5:53 p.m. 7JTB 217 82974X2 6ABT 671 8YMA 182 PGL 0284 Texas 8LWS 286. We're at Ontario Mills. on the grounds of what is state facilitating venue, Ontario Airport, and that's specifically at Terminal 4 at 6:12 p.m. License 7GMC127, crossing path. Doubletree Hotel, the Bell Cab, the airport in and of itself, this entire property is engaging in surveillance, and I'm just documenting what are the Ontario police who are on surveillance cameras. They are engaging in using their lights, and they're doing so at the moment that they are, which is serving this criminal system, and it is referred to as what is criminal summoning while they're engaged in federal stalking and monitoring. 6TLR179, and again, that's at 6:12 p.m. at Terminal 4 while I'm on Omnitrans. Which would also be seen on the cameras, not only of this bus, but on the cameras of the property of the Ontario Airport, where criminal activity is underway, and I'm documenting what is ongoing context to what the entity is doing. The Ontario Shuttle 18301F1 monitoring as well, 8HDT 572. It's currently 6:13 p.m. and this is P.O.C. LYN 228. P.O.C. at what is the Shell Gas on Holt Boulevard, where the Ontario Police have on now 2 occasions, which is a pattern in and of itself, engaging in criminal summoning at that third-party facilitating venue, and in the same way that they are monitoring with the Ontario Police when they are group stalking at that venue, they're monitoring right now. So I just want to document that crossing path with that property, where the people of the state are on the grounds at that address in relevant position with the rest of the entity monitoring. It's 6:23 p.m. 61609C1 8NED 701 at Holt and Euclid Avenue at 6:25 p.m. 84947B3. Alrighty, this is bus 1545906, bus number 2349, and I got off at Holt Boulevard in San Antonio, where I got on this morning also at the same intersection. License 8XZG218, and again, that's driven by employee number 1513, 7EOU459. That's another license plate, and it's currently 6:28 p.m. License plate C7SGT423, 8ZNL840, 5Z03687, 7RFE017, 5RLT040, 14129U1, 6SWG631. It is 6:37 p.m. (5YAF306, 6ZMH734, 8FCX960, 8X10141, 8GNU917, CB82Z36 paper, 8NTB488. 244 NGW, that's Oregon. Group stalking while I walk inside of the restaurant of Subway inside of Ontario Village, where the entity also amplifies plane engines right over me and is stalking by aircraft as I'm walking on Holt Boulevard in Ontario right now. So they are engaging in what is lining the path and using their vehicle to do so. All right, license, another demon that's coming engaging in the same conduct, 7ZPK820. It is 6:41 p.m. This is criminal summoning, the Ontario Fire Department. And they're stalking with audible activity. I'll tell you in a second. This is P.O.C. First of all, they're already in relevant position to my position at the Ontario Museum. I just took a picture of where they're at, turning the corner onto Euclid. As they are crossing path, they stop sounding sirens. They immediately begin sounding sirens where they are already in position, not coming from their facilitating venue, which remains in relevant position. They are already present, extraordinarily loud, just as you heard. They immediately sound sirens. They're stalking with activity, and they are stalking with activity ready to do so. That's what a stalker does. They're already present, and they're stalking with audible activity, and doing so with immediacy as I engage in a detour other than where I ordinarily go. Instead of walking straight to where I sleep at the museum, I walk toward a trash can as I engage in that new activity, that new movement, that abrupt change in conduct, stalking with audible activity using the audible activity method of sirens by demons who are first of all in a fire truck, and second of all who are already in position on Holt Boulevard. They are not coming from their fire station while they are immediately sounding sirens right here in alignment with me, and that's exactly what you hear at that volume. They immediately turn the corner. That's why I start recording and I capture that picture, because they're already right there. This is not the coincidental presence in relevant position, the coincidental conduct of stalking with activity, this mirroring, this immediacy, this simultaneity of conduct. This is the pattern. It's the conduct of the demon possessed. It's the criminal activity of monitoring with communication devices. It is pursuant to what is the pattern of conduct, as I'm also showing you the entity stalking at the same exact venue where I'm being molested with directed light, where the entity is stalking by helicopters, where the entity is stalking by police and the people of the state together. That is the demon-possessed Ontario Fire Department engaging in what is federal group stalking and monitoring, which is monitoring with communication devices while under the condition of demon possession on behalf of the state. That's the fire department acting directly. All right, and it is also criminal facilitation of that system, which the operation of that system is a threat to the life of an American citizen subject to it. This is facilitation by that Ontario Fire Department while they're engaging in that P.O.C, and it's entirely demonic. All right, it's currently 6:55 p.m. and I am at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. This is P.O.C. It is 10 p.m. at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. The entity is engaging in what is the ongoing, as I captured in video, a series of videos last night, and as I've captured on many occasions, I just want to document on my podcast. The entity begins patrolling, and by patrolling, that is a term of art. This is speaking to what is demonic and what is also criminal. Crossing path via helicopter upon audible activity that is amplified in sound while directed light is present. These are the elements of monitoring what the government is engaging in. And the government engages in audible creation of this helicopter activity, visibly flying over, communicating a threat, and doing so because the government is already stalking by helicopter ceaselessly. This is the system of federal group stalking and monitoring. The entity engages in flying directly over such that I can hear it and see it in order to communicate a threat as I begin updating my website, thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com, including the documentation of the pattern of conduct as I was subject to it coming from the Fontana Lewis Library this evening. The moment that I start engaging in this editing, this is when the entity begins this terrorizing conduct of stalking by helicopter in order to communicate a threat. Understand that. That is the criminal purpose of engaging in the obvious presence by helicopter. The entity is always stalking by helicopter and planes, and I've shown this while I've shown all hours of the day and night. 24-hour surveillance by helicopter, stalking with activity. This is a stalker that is already present and engages in what is stalking with activity, meaning simultaneity of the creation of audible activity and crossing of path conduct. You are already present as a stalker and a demon-possessed one in a helicopter representing the state while you're engaging in direct action in doing so, while you're also engaging in what is communicating a terrorizing threat, an impermissible threat specifically, while I am engaging in what is documentation and you're monitoring documentation. That is also relevant while the entity engages in that conduct. This is the entity that is monitoring with the people of the state, engaging in the very same conduct that I captured in a series of videos last night. Last night being, again, April 2nd, 2022. Today is April 3rd, 2022. The entity engaging in this conduct as I continuously update my documentation. That is, include more documentation for what I have documented today, April 3rd, 2022. The entity includes what is the Ontario Police to begin sounding sirens as well. This is the entity that is engaging in the elements of monitoring, is engaging in what is terrorism, also intending to do what is, again, futile. The entity that's monitoring, watching me update documentation, also wants to be a distraction, wants me to stop updating that website, okay? You have what are the people of the state. This is a demon. This is a third party that is on the grounds of the museum engaging in what is stalking with noise in the same way that I've shown you and let you listen to what's occurring inside of, for example, of the Fontana Lewis Library. This is the same demonic activity, the criminal stalking conduct by the people of the state, stalking where it is that I sleep in the same way that they are stalking in bathrooms. They are engaging in what is this obsessive following conduct that is stalking on behalf of the government in a specific environment. That's criminal, all right? While they are monitoring with communication devices. And so you have the entity that is present by the people who are on the grounds of the museum as well, and that's what I want to document. While the entity is engaging in what is all manner of terrorism, while you have the demon-possessed, the people of the state, that this demon comes onto the grounds of the museum, as I've also documented before. And doing so in order to maintain presence, you're stalking, you're monitoring, knowing full well that I am updating my website, doing so in order to maintain presence, engage in that criminal monitoring with the government that is stalking by helicopter, and engaging in the creation of audible activity via the use of sirens, all of which is, again, the ongoing concerted action. This is interstate stalking by the entity, acting vicariously and directly, also wanting to be a distraction, just wanting me to stop updating my website, even if that results in capturing the 100,000th video, if you will. I'm being illustrative with regard to what is futile, right? Because I'm documenting, I'm going to use this against the people of the state and the government. The entity engages in more of the criminal activity while it is, again, monitoring my documentation in order to both, it is the elements of monitoring. The entity is engaging in the pattern of conduct to monitor, but also to threaten. While you're aware of what I'm updating on my website, what I'm adding onto my website, you don't want me to do that. So you're engaging in that very criminal system. In either way, you're talking about what is futile, because I'll document that and I'll continue what I was doing. But I just want to speak to what is the unlawful motive behind all of that. And this is also demonic. It is also speaking to ongoing knowledge of everything that I'm doing as I do it. It is also speaking to that ongoing obsessive stalking conduct. This is the entity that's acting as one. And so I want to document that. It's currently 10:05 p.m. I am at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, and this is the exact same entity. It's not different from the demons that are entering into the bathroom to engage in stalking. This is the same entity that is following to the place where it is that I sleep, wherever that may be. This is presence on behalf of the government, okay? And so this is also a demon-possessed entity. This is Satan that is using a people, Satan that is using a government, and that's relevant to the prosecution of that government that's engaging in surveillance, satanic tactics. It's prosecution for what's terrorism. It's currently 10:05 p.m. This is P.O.C.